Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Q&A session with Mr. Chris Palmer, SEO, and myself. And the channel is sponsored by odys.cc. You can get a £100 sign-up bonus if you're interested in age domains, done-for-you affiliate websites, and that type of thing. But other than that, we're back to answer your questions on whatever the hell you want to talk about. We do have Fred Hutcherson. Good to see you, Fred. And Randy Roday here. Make sure you guys do participate in the chat. Ask any questions you want. Please be patient because other people do ask questions. And make sure you do give us a little like and subscribe on the channel. And also check out Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. If you're wanting some more from Chris Palmer, he has literally hundreds of tutorial type things on all sorts of weird stuff, weird and wonderful stuff, really in depth. I think your last one, or I seen one, was a schema. You done schema, your last video?
Yeah, a little template. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh, all of that stuff's on Chris's channel, so give him a bit of love too. We also have Adam Poland, Mr. Jordan Pierce, Michael Likens, Holly Starks, yo. Tommy Finan, hi lads, hope all is well. Tommy Finan. I keep saying you're a traitor now, Tommy. You keep going on to all Chrissy stuff and ignoring me. I feel left out, Tommy. Yeah, we see what side you're on, Tommy. I'm only kidding. But Drew, Spinoso, Justin Lackey are also here. Randy Roday is up in Clubhouse. Now what? Do you think there's some good SEO value with Clubhouse? Seems that there was a lot of hype a few months ago. Now not so much. What are your thoughts? Chris, what are you thinking about Clubhouse? Are you on there? Have you done anything?
I'm on there. Unless you're in with anybody that's got the group, already, and then you could, stand up and talk, but to get in there and just start a room up and start blabbing, the chances of you getting any traction are about slim to none. I didn't personally like it. I talked to a couple people, they seem to like it, but I couldn't get any movement over there.
I'm the same. I think I tried it when all the hype came out. I think I got it in November. I was lucky enough to have someone that gave me it. Tried a couple out and actually didn't fucking enjoy it at all. Nope. Done a few. There wasn't a lot of audience or interaction. We gave it quite a lot of value. It was me and Bradley Bennett actually that done it, and I felt we spoke about a lot of good stuff. But yeah, unless, as you say, unless you have somehow got that big group and all that stuff, then do you know what? I don't even like that. I like videos better, and I think what I've also found is you can't perform on every platform. I like YouTube and my Facebook. I don't want to be prominent in Twitter, Instagram, or any, some of the other stuff. You do not have to be prominent on everything. I think there will be a certain element of people on Clubhouse who enjoy listening and stuff. But out of the stuff I've ever come across and listened to, I've just been like, boring ass shit. So yeah, it's not for me personally. Holly says it's great for creating a list, like helping people out. Holly's, yeah, it's a time suck, Holly. That's the thing. None of us have got that much time to work at that, really, whilst also doing YouTube and actually doing a bit of graph yourself. So the time suck is...
Yeah, I even tried to put in to create my own group. I made Black Hat SEO the group. I figured, hey, there's all these SEO groups. No one's doing Black Hat, right? No dice, put in the application. That's the only way to win. If you can get your own group and then invite a bunch of people, then you can win. But you can't just go on there and...
Ryan Durrani's watching from outside of the house. He's here with me. He must be watching out in the yard. But yeah, I think, do you not have to do something like 3 shows regularly for an hour each consecutively every week before you're considered for a group or something like that?
I don't know. There was some type of form that I had to fill out. You have to put in for like a review first to even get in position. I know that. So I filled out the little form and I was waiting and I didn't see anything. I was going on there. I actually let it run almost an entire day. Like I had it set up. I went into a room and I just sat just to see like what would happen. Not an entire day, more like 4 hours.
Yeah.
But no, it's nothing, man. I hate that thing.
But going back to normal questions, Justin Lackey, what are your thoughts on building citations to local landing pages on a national website?
National website, local landing pages. If you have the budget, I don't know if that would be my very first thing I would be taking care of. If you have a main central location, perhaps I would do the homepage, the initials, like your 4 squares and things along those lines. But as far as there's a lot better things that you should be focusing your energy on, so.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. Sultan Ali wants to know, and I'm going to let you answer this one, Chris, is AMP good for your SEO?
I don't use it. I don't know anybody that uses it. I don't use it. I haven't found any that big a benefit. However, if you take a look at some of the larger, like Neil Patel, he uses it. So I don't know. That's for you to decide. I think it speeds things up, but it's not something that I utilize.
Before we go any further, guys, Sultan, you asked the question at 6 minutes past, and then you've asked it again at 8 minutes past. Don't do that. We'll get round to your question. There's no need to repeat the questions. If you do consistently keep asking the same question, I will block you because we've got other questions to ask. And I'm not being rude or anything, but there's nothing worse than someone impatient wanting their question answered right away. That's just, there's other people here as well and other things to talk about. So please do not be impatient. Please let us get round to your question. We try and answer them all. So please do be patient. Anyway.
Yeah, we want to answer your questions. That's the whole purpose of this. Yeah.
Jared Abbott, with Discord and Telegram coming out with features to compete with Clubhouse, not sure if them being stingy with groups is wise. That's a good shout. I've played around on Telegram in some of the groups over there, trying to put some of my YouTube videos out, to Ukrainian audiences and various big SEO groups on there. Has worked really well for me. So I have played around with Telegram and actually get more traction and benefit for me personally on Telegram than I have with Clubhouse. So yeah, it's probably not a wise move for them to be that stingy. Also, hello to Simon Hogbin, Richard Sachs from sunny and hot Orlando. Please rub it in.
Right.
Yeah, it's not so sunny here. 15 degrees where I am, but better than nothing. Justin Lackey, I've done the initial citations. Just I thought I had. Thanks, guys. That was the citations to the internal landing pages. As you say, Chris, better. There's other things to do that are going to help you more than that.
If you're hyper specific in a specific state, though, and then you want to target all the cities, then I would send them to internal pages. Yeah. But as far as like a national where you're going really broad, that's a lot of budget, So I would be more focused on quality links before citations and directories. That's me.
Makes sense. Tommy Finnan's asking, are map embeds to Web 2.0s, are they still worth doing?
I know they are. I would definitely be doing that. I would be more focused, maybe not so much on the Web 2s, but if you have any other assets that you control that are a little bit more authoritative, whether they're other sites or if you're issuing press releases and you're able to get those embedded into there and you're able to submit the code how you want it, I have seen massive benefit to this. So yes, they are worth it.
Yes. As long as they're not, you've got to do it the right way. That's with anything, everything's worth it. It's just how much of it you do and when you do it and with what you do it and where you do it and all that stuff. So also be careful. But embeds still work very well for me. But I'm not so big in the maps, but I know YouTube embeds, same kind of thing, same scenario, still have the desired impact. So do it. Mark Rose, good to see you here. Guys, make sure you do ask questions. We are here to answer as many as we can, so make sure you get them in the chat. But while we're waiting on other questions coming in, Chris, where are you at with your tool? I actually had someone ask me the other day, and I can't remember who it was, and they were like, what's this tool? When's it coming out and all that stuff? Any further forwards?
Yeah, I did a couple little demos just to play with it, got some feedback. It's pretty well done. There's just a little few other things that they want to take care of on their end. A couple little small modifications. I did a couple little small demos, but we're just not super. I'm not comfortable yet to sell it, basically. But the main functionality, the layout, the way it looks, the way it works, what I want it to do is all done. It's just putting all those pieces together. I'm not a developer, so I'm just a little bit longer, hopefully. Yeah, I literally talked to him this morning, actually. So,
I've seen the back end of it, and it looks good, simple, easy to use. So once you iron out those little things, then you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
I'm on the, and I'm not. I know that they're working on some big projects too, so I'm like a side project, so I think if this was a queuing system for the amount of work they're doing, I think I'm probably not at the top of the list.
The pile.
Right.
But
that's okay though.
It'd be good. I think people will be very, very interested. So
me too.
Look forward to see how people take up on it. But on that, we have Zeddy Electrical back in action. Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Justin Lackey has an actual question, and he has shared, he hasn't shared his URL, but he's given you the URL structure. So it's a life insurance lead generation site that targets national terms, but he is also targeting local cities within provinces, i.e. Toronto. How would you deal with this is basically his question. What are the steps you would take to rank that Toronto page if he uses these URL structures like that?
Yeah, so you're going national. I'd probably be looking more at whatever site.com / I might even shorten this up. The main website is life insurance, right? It's on topic. It's one, so that doesn't necessarily need to be there, but I would probably go Canada if it's national, so you're only doing Canada, I'm assuming. So probably why wouldn't I just do Ontario / I'm not sure, I don't do Canada. How would that, is a Providence much like a big city and then all your small little towns? Is that kind of how it is? So I'd probably go, I don't know. Why wouldn't I just do, if the whole site's about life insurance, why wouldn't I just do / whatever the area is? So if you're going to have a main top level category page, maybe that would be life insurance Canada or whatever the big search term is. And then within there, all those small provinces. But I wouldn't want a really extended URL structure. It would be super clean. So hopefully that gets to your question, as clean as possible, and just limit the parameters is what I would be doing.
Makes sense.
I hope that gets to your question.
Mark Rose, Craig, maybe ask Chris some of yesterday's cycling questions. They were fairly basic, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to. Yeah, they were cycling questions. I signed a contract for that stuff, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go out and ask them again on here. So I'm not going to, but it was just basic site speed questions, nothing exciting. Obviously, with the Core Web Vitals update up and coming and all that stuff, they wanted to do a show based on that. But as I say, I have been asked to tweet stuff for SiteGround on Core Web Vitals, and obviously asked to participate in Twitter chat on their Twitter chat, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to then go on and do that elsewhere. So don't want to get anyone into trouble, including myself. These big corporates have funny contracts, shall we say. So I'll leave them to the side. But Adrian Baines, FAQ schema and rich snippets, can they be implemented on the page and not show up in the results? I had someone do them for me, and they said it wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessarily they show up in the SERPs. Is that weird? Now, why would you add FAQ schema, for example, for it not to show on the SERPs? Like, you want that FAQ schema? Like, let me give you an example, just in case you're unaware or anyone's unaware of what this actually means. Not saying that you do or don't, but
that's something I covered that. That's one of the things I went over yesterday, Craig. It's fun that you're going for it.
It's just on that term we used to fight over, CTR manipulation. So obviously I added a couple of bits of FAQ schema, which gives me those little answer boxes here. That was added to my website. Now, why wouldn't you want that to show there? The reason for me adding that was because I'm pretty sure it was Ryan Houghton, but I might be wrong. Someone done it on here that was in page 1, and I'm like, no one else had it, and Ryan Houghton had it, and I'm like, to hell with Ryan Houghton. I'm adding it as well, just to take up more of the landscape. So why you would add it and not want it to show up in the search results is a real bizarre question, if you ask me. For someone to say it wasn't necessary that they show up in the SERPs, that is weird. For me, what do you say to that?
Yeah, I'm taking it as you can add it to a lot of pages, but sometimes that particular, not every SERP will show it if it's added to the page. And I'm sure you've ran into this. You could add it just like, aggregate review ratings or product review ratings. You can add it, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to show up on the page. So that might be the instance. And then based on that last result that we just saw, we can get 3 onto the page generally is what showcases. I've been trying to get it more to show, but have you ever been able to push it past 3, or does that seem to be the limit?
I think I've seen others with more. I've never been able to get more than 3, but I've come across other ones that have had 5. I don't know if that was months ago and it's changed or whatever, but I'm sitting with 2, and I've got like 5 or 6 FAQs on there, but maybe they only show 2 or 3. I'm not sure what the actual figure is just now. They have shown 5 in the past for some searches, but what this guy's saying is potentially it was maybe a language barrier. Maybe the guy said you're not guaranteed to get it for every search, is what he maybe meant. But also on that question, what tool do you guys use to install Schema? Chris, are you using any tools? Because I've played with tools and it's always been garbage. I've actually had to always go back to manually adding the Schema, like creating it. I've tried multiple plugins and I've always found them not to be that great. What's your trick, or is there a trick?
I don't know about necessarily being a trick, but a lot of times you'll have your basics built into a particular plugin such as like SEO Press, but they'll offer custom functionality. Along with that, a lot of these builders such as Elementor, Thrive, and whatever you're using, they will allow for custom structure. If you're just using a basic WordPress theme, the code editor, you can just add it into the HTML. So for me, for all the basic stuff, just so I don't have to do it, I'll utilize SEO Press. But then for some of the additional types, has maps, these types of things I want to add to the page, I'll just go in and do it manually.
Yeah. I think I would, well, when I say I add it manually, this guy actually does my schema. He does it manually and fancies himself as a schema king. So it's not actually true that I do it personally. But yeah, I think after trying the tools, I wanted to just get someone that actually knew what they were doing with it. So obviously I used Ryan. But as Jordan Pierce said as well, try and not use tools if you're going to do it. Handwrite it and build a template off of it is the
100.
best way for now. But hopefully that answers your question.
Yep.
So Stud Muffin is asking, do people still do cyber squatting or domain squatting? Is it a big no to do?
People are definitely still doing it.
People are definitely still doing it. So Holly starts with just saying, ask Jeff Olson about that question. It didn't work out well for him. Google it. Yeah, I don't. It's not really my place to give the Jeff Olson story, but I'll give you the brief background of what happened. This guy was being a right douchebag to someone in the industry and was threatening him, saying he was a journalist and he could, if this didn't happen, you know, tried to blackmail an SEO guy, which is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And, you know, used the threat of him being a journalist. And after that, somehow, someone got jeffolson.com, ranked it very, very quickly, saying how much of a douchebag he was and blah, 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 blah. And it's going to harm that guy way more than he will ever know. And he can get whatever article and whatever paper he wants. It didn't work out well for him, and he was crying like a wee baby after that. So be careful who you fuck with, really, because if that person, if you're cyber squatting as someone who actually knows what they're doing, you could be in a whole bit of, a bit of trouble. And some of these people have no moral compass, and the people in the SEO industry don't give a shit. A lot of the guys, and quite rightly so, will just go out and give one, this person it back. You know, you shouldn't be going around threatening people anyway. So fuck Jeff Olson. That's what I say.
Tells how you really feel.
Yeah. Simon Hogden. I don't know why, Simon. I've probably said this before, but I want to say Hogden with your name. Hogben is just not good in the tongue, man. It's not. It's a hard one to roll off. Anyway, what's the best way to rank on near me searches? Any specific tactics over and above having a GMB already?
I generally like to add it into my, H2s, H4. I just like to get it into a heading tag generally. And you could pull it in depending on the overall domain authority. You'd be able to get those depending on where the site is, how long it's been up, what's the site optimized for, where's the GMB. You could generally get those near me's depending on the city by utilizing the H4 tag is where I specifically like to add it.
Yes. Follow that. And
once it indexes, then I'll move it to an H2.
Adrian Baines is saying he solved core web vital speed with Bionic WP. Super, so far so good. Listen, WP Rocket, Nitro Pack and all that do good jobs as well. So there are great things that you can use. I've not personally tried Bionic WP, but that's also another one to try out.
See, I literally, I was consulting with a client this morning, and they're starting out. The long story short of it, I said, you could do all the plugins and editing the plugins and all the code and all this, everything you want. But at the end of the day, for me, it always start with a VPS and then build from there. Keep the amount of plugins super low, keep it clean. Like if you start with a VPS, you could have a junky site with 1 million plugins and still perform pretty good, Yeah. So I think it starts with the hosting, to be quite frank. I like to go with a VPS and your time to first byte will be under 200 milliseconds almost always. And then use Cloudflare or something along those lines to really just to add that little cherry on top,
Good advice. Good advice. Mark Rolls is saying he's getting 9 in the finance niche. It probably depends on the category Google associates your sites in the search with. I've never seen as many as 9 personally, but I don't really do a lot in the finance niche. But yeah, clearly it must be niche, different niches, different things. That's an interesting one. I've just never, I don't think I've ever seen. Have you seen 9 before?
Never seen 9. I've seen 4 or 5. I see that's why I asked too, because I've been trying to get a lot more on specific pages, other sites that I'm working on. And I've been, the 2, the 3, usually 3 is where I'm hitting the barrier. But I have noticed, I could add it to whatever page I want. And depending on the SERP, it really determines, hey, is this even going to show for me? Because I've tried it on all pages just to see, but not every time it hits.
Yeah, you need to be careful. One little tip as well is when you're writing the content for your schema, I think you always have to try and answer the question very, very quickly within that content, like this is, or whatever it might be. Try and answer the question in that first line of text. That's working really well for me when trying to trigger the schema, because if that piece of content that's wrapped in schema is answering saying this is or whatever it's going to be, that can happen. I think for me that just sucks Google into liking it a bit more. So that works really well for me. So just be careful with the wording. Some people will probably blab a bit and then say, right, this is what this does or what is or whatever it's going to be. So try and hit that right away.
I've also seen too, like in the not H4, H5 or H3s, H3 will be the question, and then whatever that the paragraph text. I've seen that a couple times, just like analyzing, looking at sites, and that seems to really pop too.
See what works for you.
That's right.
And no worries, Simon. Just I can't really pop around anyway. So but no need to apologise for your name. Definitely not. I was only kidding on and trying to be lazy and all that stuff. I'll just call you Augie, something like that. Keep things simple and easy. NitroPack and getting great results. So Michael Likens has been advising people to use NitroPack. It's good to play about and see what else works out there as well. Drew Spinoso, what is the easiest way to boost a new website's PA to at least 20? How long should it take?
Well, there's a lot of fast ways to do it. The easiest way is go buy high authoritative PBN or quality links and point them in, so that'll spike it up relatively quickly. Another way to do it is you can utilize high velocity of low quality links too and get a high PA score. So I'd rather go the first route though, would be the best way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Rich Devman, good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Adrian, I've got the sunshine in my eyes in case you're like, what the fuck's he doing here? Adrian Baines, VPS, that's good info, thanks. So Adam Poland then went on to ask, can you guys recommend a good supplier for a VPS UK based? I can recommend one. Go to tsohost.com. They have good VPSs at a very affordable price. I've used them for 10 plus years, never had an issue. That's one that I've personally used. So try them out. I think I've looked around and some of them are overpriced garbage. But tsohost, I think it's fair priced and great support and all that stuff. UK, 24-hour support and all that on the phone. So they're on the ball, and I think that's what you need when someone's, obviously you're going to have your main website on a VPS, so it's good to have, in the worst case scenario, something goes wrong, it's good to have their support there as well, and they're actually very generous with their support. Probably do way more than they ever should in terms of, if I have websites that have been hacked or, whatever has been a problem, they go above and beyond to make sure you're just back online and clean. I'm not saying to clean the whole thing up or anything, but some guys could easily say that's your problem, get it cleaned up and then come back to me and we'll make it go live again or whatever. They actually do try and help you, so check them out. Do you know of any UK ones, Chris?
No, but when I'm looking for something new or for VPS wise, depending on the person, I'm either going over to like web hosting talk or low inbox, and I'm just looking for, who are people talking about that's looking good, the price is right with the good quality. I don't have any preference though. No. Who's got the best product for the best price? That's all I care about.
What's up, lad? That's cool. I don't know if there's any here. Oh, it's in the boot of the car. Got Ryan Durrani hijacking me here.
Chris, what's up, man?
I'm trying to get him to write some schema, but he's wanting a drink of water, which is not very fair.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't work.
It's my V8. Come on, I didn't clean the toilet up after that. He's not really my V8, guys. Just friendly banter, but okay, right, so we've done that one. Paul Clark. Paul Clark from yesterday. I think it probably will be. I just can't see your face. It's just got a big P there. Schema and structured data for WP and UMP is a good one.
Craig.
What are you laughing at?
I just love you, man. You're just a funny dude. You're just funny. It makes me laugh.
They're looking in at me. I don't know if I've done something wrong. I'm not sure it's a good idea to sit in front of a window. But anyway, Paul Clark saying schema and structured data for WP and AMP is a good plugin. That and watch Clint's course, which is Clint Butler's course, which is cheap and useful, gives you all the files which you can just edit in Sublime. So I've heard a lot of good things about Clint. Clint is I've met Clint, very, very knowledgeable guy. I've not personally done his course, but I've heard amazing things about his course and obviously spoke to him and watched some stuff online as well. So if you are struggling, I think Clint's course is definitely one that we can highly recommend for sure. So check that out.
I never went through that one.
I've just never had time to go through it. It's one of those ones that's on the radar, but yeah. But anyway, Suzanne, give us some advice to get SEO clients. So have you got a brief one? We don't want to spend too long telling you how to get SEO clients.
Yeah, for me at first, obviously you want to go where the people are. So I can just tell you what worked for me. So Upwork, Fiverr, Black Hat World, Warrior Forum, right? Once you get in the mix, they do start to come, but you're going to have to work for a lot cheaper than you feel you're worth at first to be able to get some other people to say, hey, that guy knows what he's doing. Once you could get a couple in and try to stay in your lane, try to stay for a specific niche, because then it'll be a lot easier to, when you show them, hey, here's what I did for this client. Here's what I did for this client. So get some work up under your belt, get some test sites, make sure you're confident before you take a man's money, and then get where the people are. And then you'll be on. So that's
also what Simon White says here. You do rank well locally and stuff, and get yourself out there is always going to help you well. Over and above what Chris said, obviously demonstrating case studies, getting yourself networking with the right people and getting in front of the right people. Just do some good SEO. Work will come from that. Even if you cut a couple of local areas, that gets the ball rolling, and from there, word of mouth and stuff really fast. So, yeah, hopefully that helps you somewhat. But back to Simon White again. Any update on the SEO Underground event? So the event is going ahead on the 14th of October. We are probably going to try and do something the day before as well, like a mastermind or some shit like that. But it is going ahead. We have some good speakers already announced, such as your man Chris Palmer, Holly Starks, me, Peter Van de Graaf, Arnout Hellemans. We have asked Brad and Mike, but again, we need to sit and wait on the COVID situation and whether those are personally comfortable travelling. Chris has said yes, and Holly has said yes, providing there's no COVID restrictions or anything. We also have asked Matt Diggity, who has also said yes, but Thailand is in a sticky situation with COVID. So again, Diggity's a yes, COVID allowing that to happen. So that's where we're at with it just now. We will ask other speakers as well. We're hoping to have about 10, and we're trying to have 10 really good people there that are prepared to give knowledge away and not, play the white hat game. It's going to be a black hat event. So hopefully a good one. But, if Brad and Mike pull out for any reason, touch wood they don't, then we'll find someone else, hopefully with similar levels of knowledge. So it should be a good lineup, regardless of, if a couple of people can't turn up because of COVID or any other reason. But yeah, it's still definitely going ahead, Simon. It will be similar it'll be slightly bigger than MFG. It's going to be 300 people there, but trying to have something similar in terms of quality and stuff like that. So that's the aim. So check it out, guys, if you're interested. SEOunderground.co.uk. You will get to see us in person. But I think networking and being there in person, whilst it's not being recorded, means we can give away a hell of a lot more information than we typically would on here. So there you go. Michael Likens, Chris, when can we get a master list of all follow links you can get by creating accounts and linking there?
I'm not sure. I shared one of my lists. I even plummeted the price. I could give you 950 of them right now. I also have a list I started sharing for GSA. I got about, 16 million links. I'm going to start distributing, I guess. I don't know. How many you want? I could probably, give me come talk to me, message me, probably text me would probably be the best way. Go to seo.chrispalmer.com. There's a lot of them there. Yeah,
check that out, or harass them via text message.
Yeah, sometimes I do. That's a funny thing. If you catch me at the right time and ding me at the right time, just in order to be nice, sometimes I might just send you an invite coupon. Who knows? I don't know. Some people get me at the right time. I'm like, here, you can have it.
It's always good to know, Chris. I'll get fake personas to reach out to you.
I get a lot of that.
Arif is asking, how would you recommend sending dirty traffic or backlinks to your competitors? Do you do something like that? Would you recommend it? Or are there things to be doing with your time?
I don't, I'm not going to, promote. I'm not going to promote this type of activity. Has there been times in real estate and these very high bail bonds in particular areas, and have I had to do such things? Perhaps, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't give you the blueprint to it, though. No.
Nah, spend your time working your own website.
We could talk about that at SEO Underground, though.
Yeah,
I'd be more than happy to share there.
We want a case study. But guys, do give us a like on this video as well if you are enjoying the chat. We do appreciate a bit of engagement on here. Mark Rolls is recommending UK Fast for a VPS. There's another UK hosting company. Check them out. They have a very nice office and clearly know what they're doing. So,
is it me, or is UK taking like a big run here? Like, I feel like the UK, like the SEO is like starting to, I don't know, is like the, you know, it was like US, then I was like, oh, Thailand, and now it seems like the UK is like the next one's up for like the big SEO movements, you know, or is it just me?
Nah, that's just you, man.
Okay.
The UK are probably way ahead of the Thailand for sure. Obviously, America, there's more people and you know, technology and all that. I think Americans are just more into it. I think UK is probably not, you know, there's not thousands of great SEOs, but there's certainly enough there and some real big hosting companies and stuff. And, you know, the infrastructure's there. Yeah, so I'd say the UK is doing all right, but that's not something that's new. I still think there's quite a lot of people who are technophobes and lazy and stuff like that in the UK, but not everyone. But I just think America, I could rhyme off tons of SEOs who are American-based. If I look at the UK and you ask me to name 10 guys who I fully believe actually know what they're doing, I could probably name about 10. After that, I would really be clutching at straws. Whereas in America, you can talk about like Jordan Pierce for GMBs, Mike and Brad, Clint, Holly, you know, you fucking yourself. There's names all over the place. Everyone knows someone who's really fucking good at something. And whereas here, you know, I think it's a bit less frequent, shall we say, which pains me to say that because I want the UK to beat your American asses at this stuff. But yeah. And talking about Jordan Pierce, he gets clients by going in walks and looking for service trucks and ready talking to people. Jordan Pierce will probably try anything, which is the right attitude to have. You've got to think outside the box and do stuff like that. And Adam Poland said the UK is lazy. A lot of them are very lazy. They don't even go out for walks and stuff. So yeah, and Holly's saying the UK newspapers aren't friendly with their DMCA. But where are we going here? Michael Likens is saying to Suzanne, try using Ahrefs or SEMrush traffic value cost as a metric to show them the value of their competition's traffic and show them how theirs is lacking. This closes so many deals. So yeah, giving them data and just saying, this guy's running away with all the money. Do you want a piece of this pie? Try that. I wouldn't. I'm not sure I would agree with that, Mark. I mean, there are some very good SEOs in the UK who are not vocal. I 100% agree with that. But I have seen some, you know, so-called really good SEOs here are just fucking dog shit. You know, they're just fucking years behind in the times as well. Some, you know, but every country, America is also equally the same. And I went to an event, NFG Rockstars, where I met Simon White and all that. And, you know, we had like, I don't know, 10 speakers or whatever the figure was, who are all very vocal people and stuff like that. But what I would say to anyone is the crowds at NFG, the guys that paid to be at that conference, were equally, if better than some of the speakers, if not, you know, as good. You know, and that goes for everywhere. That was in America. Obviously, there was, you know, guys there who just don't want to talk. They don't want to share shit. They just go to these events and stuff. But, you know, I think the same goes for everywhere with that one, Mark. But I think in the UK, guys are still believing in white hat and all that stuff and come out of these agencies and all that. I mean, let me give you a couple of examples here. Holly Starks. Now, Holly's an animal when it comes to the stuff that she does. Like, and when I say animal, I mean just really aggressive. She does stuff at scale. She's not working for a corporate or doing anything like that. She makes her own money. Jordan Pierce does his own GMP stuff. Chris Palmer's doing his own stuff. They're all making their own money. And I think a lot of the SEOs here are trained by agencies and stuff, and they have that whole agency thing and try and start their own agencies where the guys that are making the real money are actually just doing crazy ass shit and they can make money from it. And for me, that's, I don't know, more entrepreneurial over there, maybe. But yeah, anyway, enough of that stuff. But inspired and legally about it. So Stud Muffin's going on about the cyber squatting thing. He means by cyber squatting people who buy a brand or trademark domain name and didn't register by the brand trademarks and make profit off of it. So
you get lucky.
You could get lucky. You could also get your ass sued and just made to hand it over. You need to be careful when people have got legal teams and they're a brand and all that kind of stuff, because literally if they go to nominate who's the UK governing body of domain names, nominate will just take it off you and hand it back to the guy. You're not going to get away with blackmail on trademark domains or anything like that. So, you might get lucky and they might just give you a couple of $100 for it, whatever. But if you're going to try and extort them for, hundreds of thousands of pounds, I think you're probably just going to have your hand forced.
Get your head cracked. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not sure the legalities in other countries. I'm pretty sure America's laws are different. I know you guys have got ICANN and I don't know how strict they are and stuff like that. But I know Nominate here in the UK will simply just fucking take the domain off of you. If it's trademarked or whatever, then give it back to the guy. Job done. If you're going to try and fuck around with someone. So, but yeah, I think everywhere's got different laws. But there you go. And name and shame, Adam Poland. Listen, I'm not trying to name and shame anyone. I think there's a lot of good SEOs in the UK as well. It's not to shame anyone, for sure. I just think there is some SEOs out there who think that they're making big bucks and all that stuff and killing it with a $300,000 and £400,000 a year turnover. And I know guys that make that a month with affiliate websites and stuff. So that there's levels. And some guys think they're absolutely balling because they maybe earn an $80,000 a year salary profit off of that company or whatever. So not for me to name and shame. Everyone's got to step through the ladder. But I think the minute you think you're a superstar and you're only earning that kind of money, then yeah, it's not. It's just madness. So there you go. Holly is saying, just a plug on Chrissy's coaching program. I think we have met 3 times so far, 3 hours of coaching. Everyone gets a ton for help. The first day was worth a year of coaching for me.
Thank you, Holly.
So, Chris, I know you have been a big fan of Holly, and for a while you were excited to have the show. So that must be quite good for you, having someone like Holly actually, you turned it around, and Holly's learning tricks from you as well, which is great to see. Because I know before in the past you've said, "Do you think Holly would come on my show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fucking
yeah, dude."
And so I know you're a fan of Holly, but it's great to see that obviously being reciprocated, and that's where I think egos go out the window, and I think people like Holly and yourself, Chris, you're always hungry to learn more from other people. And when I've talked about those superstar SEOs that think they're balling, that ego gets in the way, and you think you know it all and don't do these things and just network with other people. Holly goes on to say, a plugin was discussed that is next level for my news network, and I will level up my websites. I wouldn't have known about it if I didn't hear about it in the coaching group. So well worth the month. That's all you need from these things. A lot of people expect to, I don't know, be overloaded with shit tons of stuff that maybe we're all hiding. I think it's just the golden nuggets that, as Holly says, she'll go away and implement that plugin on her fucking 5,000 news websites or whatever. And if that's going to help those grow, then how much, that could have saved Holly 3 years worth of time. And that's the way she needs to look at it. So, for whatever your group, what's the price of your group again for a month, Chris?
Very fair. $55.
Well, you can't ask for fucking cheaper than that. Well, you can. Actually, the guy slammed me today who bought a $20 affiliate course on Udemy. It's my course. Now, Udemy, you can only, the minimum price is $20 you can charge for a course. And he watched the first 4 videos, which were about 4 minutes long out of 4.5 hours worth of content that's on there, and said it was dog shit because all I spoke about was myself. It was me introducing myself and telling them why,
Video 1 was about me. Gee, who would have thought?
What a guy. But anyway, for $55, you're not going to complain, and don't expect the world, but I think there's golden nuggets to be had in there and good people in there, so get in. Richard says, what is this? The Chris fucking fan club. Richard Sachs is saying, thank you for your GMB YouTube videos. I've incorporated various items into the GMB for the accounting firm I work for, and we're now up in search views 20% and 12% on map views in 28 days. So, again, another plug for Chris. Check out his YouTube. He does know his stuff. I'm only kidding on. I like hearing good things about Chris. At least someone say something nice about me, even if you're lying. Right. Mark Rules, yes, the Brighton SEO crowd and all that stuff. You've probably met them all. Just absolute. Not everyone at Brighton SEO is an absolute douchebag, but that kind of crowd, yeah. So the sun is killing me, but Daddy Electrical signed up for it just after you mentioned it, Holly. Paul Hogden, we're all good. Hope you're good too. We were talking about SEO Underground about 10 minutes ago.
Am I blocked on YouTube, Craig? No. Are links blocked?
The links might be blocked, yeah.
Links? Makes sense.
I can put it in. What's the link? Tell me what the link is.
It's a tricky one. It's seo.chrispalmer.com just that is fine, and then you can get to it from there. So SEO. Here, I'll put it into the I'll put it in the private chat. That way I know you'll get it. Yeah. Because that would be helpful. I'm really trying to have it to be 3 groups. So I could just run, I'd really like to do just a 12-hour, like my normal day, but I'll just focus on other people's stuff. 12 hours would be super helpful. Especially now I had to get rid of a lot of clients. I'm just, I was going a little overboard with work.
My OCD is ripping right now. What the fuck is this? So this is Chris's link, right? But why have you spelled your first and second name wrong?
Well, Chris Palmer, it's without the vowels. The reason is because I couldn't get Chris Palmer.
Right.
And the only reason why I'm even utilizing this site is because I had a little bit of issue on Chris Palmer marketing. My friends are knuckleheads. They thought it would be fun to see how long it would take me to crack the code to get back in. So I got in finally. It took me a month, but I got it. But yeah, so I had to take down Chris Palmer marketing, and I moved over to Chris Palmer SEO, and I was like, this site's spammed. So I'm working on the other one. I just have a lot of work. My stuff comes last. So
I like this. Yeah, Holly, I hate this URL. That really hurts my eyes. We need to hijack it so you'll change it. Yeah, Chris, something needs to be done about that.
Yeah, I agree. I can't disagree with you. It's very difficult to even tell people. And I'm working. It's going to go back to normal Chris Palmer marketing, which is very simple. Plus, that's my legal brand name. So that's my GMD. That's everything.
What the hell? Chris, you drink vessel has shrunk.
Oh, yeah. My reverse osmosis thing is broken and I haven't gotten around to fixing it. So I've been buying water.
Right. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Adam Poland, I gave the URL there, so hopefully you got that. It's the weird Chris Palmer thing. Thank you, Michael. I tried to give a bit of value on there. It's obviously for a £20 code. We're not going to get the ins and outs of everything, but hopefully it's not as basic as that douchebag suggested. It's not. There's just douchebags out there. Chris's coaching group is cool. $55 today. 4 9s living in Friday.
I usually go the other way, though. I don't go this way. I go this way. Down.
You've always got to offer value to the people out there. And that's the way I see it. I try and not rip them off. The only reason I gave away, like for anyone watching this, I put the course on Udemy to try and get the people that are on Udemy who don't know me, just to continue to build my brand. It's actually the same affiliate course I gave away for free on YouTube, but on Udemy, they charge you a minimum of 20 quid. I can't override that or anything. When a course is over 2 hours long, it's a minimum of 20 quid. But you'll also get it for free on my YouTube channel.
Did you get any sales by chance?
Yeah.
How many? Or wait, well, never mind. I was just curious. Like, is there actual traffic over there?
There's traffic on there, man. Yeah, 100%. Go on it. A fuck ton of traffic. But I also seen, like, I posted today saying, like, this fucking asswipe's just give me a 1-star review. Now, I've got a few other friends in the industry who have come in to me and said, like, Craig, I've got good courses that I put on there and these dicks just give you 1 stars. They're just douchebags on there. And some of the people have actually taken their course off of there because there's just these little bitches on there who don't understand that, you know, they don't get one-on-one coaching and everything laid in the plate for $20. You know what I mean?
I do.
So that's the crowd that's there. So whether you want to try and exploit that, I'm not fussed in bad reviews. It is what it is. Even Jordan Pierce said he'd give it a 1 out of 1 in terms of stars. Go watch it. But listen, anything that I give away is anything but basic. The guy said I gave away a lot of basic information. Basic to fucking who? I'd say I give away more than most in the industry, you know, in terms of stuff. Not outrageous stuff. I'm not going to give them everything, but I think I give away a lot more than most. So you just need to watch. There's just guys on there who just dicks. That's all I can say. And on this one, Holly, I think it's actually at the end of this month. Dooley wants to do one, I think, around about the 24th of May, which is maybe in just over a week. What are we on? Yeah, so like 12 days or something time. Nearly 2 weeks away in Manchester, down at Dooley's place. Well, not at his office. We go to a hotel along the road from his office. But if you are able to get a flight over, Holly, for that, that would be awesome. But yeah, that's the plans. Holly has also given us $15 for a new domain, Chris. Thank you very much, Holly. And yeah, we should just cyber squat in Chris's brand and buy him some domains, and then let him try and sue our asses. You could have opened a fucking can of worms here, Chris, because these are probably the wrong type of people, like Jordan Pierce, Holly Sachs, fucking around with your brands.
That's all I need. I got my own boys messing with me, and then I got Holly and Jordan trying to screw me. That's all I need. I got guys. Oh man, that's all I need now. That's fun.
So Neon, you're late. There was a question about a province. A province in Canada is like a state in the USA. Adding it makes the URL longer for sure. I wouldn't include it in search for the city. So hopefully that helps the chap that was asking the question on that. But on that note, we are out of time, guys, and we have answered every question. But what I'm going to do is go back and get the URL for Chris Palmer's coaching. So the coaching URL, if anyone didn't get it, for Chris Palmer, which is $55, is here. It's not me being dyslexic, it is actually his domain name. So
One of them.
One of them, yeah. But yeah, check it out, guys. There have been many people who have said many good things, and I'm pretty sure the audience here will already know that you give a lot of value away, Chris. So if you want more one-on-one kind of coaching, then check it out, guys.
Please.
But anyway, we will leave you with that, and we will catch you guys next week. Same time and all that kind of stuff. But if you haven't already, please do give the video a like, and we will catch you guys next week.
See you next week.
Cheers.
Thank you.